Hi guys, Mark Devo. Welcome back to this channel. Welcome to A Conscious Time, and welcome to this video on joy and the escape from darkness. So this is based on A Course in Miracles. If you're new to this channel, we discuss all things navigating this world through the eyes of awareness, non-judgmental, and dropping guilt, dropping doubt, and through that you'll be able to have compassion and navigate this world with through those eyes of awareness, and not judging yourself, and knowing that you're doing everything you can based on your current level of awareness, and that's ever changing. It's unlimited. It's ever expansive. So yeah, when we bridge spirituality with real world applications, that you can walk away and actually apply these things and see the effects of it. So let's jump into this video. A little bit I've chatted about before on A Course in Miracles, so a little bit of background on that. It's a course, it's a curriculum, it's spirit inspired, the Spirit of God. It's very hard to review, so I can't unpack it right now. You have to actually read it. It either is going to resonate with you or it's not in this point in time, whenever you decide to read that. And it's about forgetting everything you think you know about God, about everything. It's not a cult. It's actually starting anew and changing your perception, and it corroborates all the major spiritual books, Bible to all the other major spiritual books, but it is led by the Holy Spirit, and it's a profound book, and it will change your life for the better. And the point of these videos are to walk away with upliftment, and A Course in Miracles does that. You do not read this that oppresses you. It might challenge your perception, and it might challenge your status quo, which sometimes gets uncomfortable, but each word is littered with profundity and absolute release from fear. That's what it's about. It's about release from fear and total upliftment, and that's what God is all about. God is not judgmental or judgment to make you feel guilty or make you feel doubtful or make you feel judged. That is the ego, and that's what the premise is all about. It's ego, which is fear, and I've mentioned this before. The ego is built on an illusory thought system. It's based on fear, separation from God, death, demise, or a scarcity mindset, as opposed to God having given everything already, judged everything perfect, and you are perfect in this present moment right now. The point of these videos and the Course in Miracles is to peel away the illusions of fear, judgment, guilt, to realize you've been given everything, and that goes hand in hand with what this video is about, which is joy. So a lot of my videos seem like they are, maybe the title maybe seems fear-mongering or dark, I wouldn't even say depressive, but each video you'll see is meant to be uplifting. It's meant to draw the fact that once you peel away the guilt and the fear and the illusion of those things, which are just illusions, then it brings forth your natural inheritance of joy and the peace of God. But I did want to switch it up and just say, and have a video that is joy-based, joy-oriented. Granted, it says the title is Joy and the Escape from Darkness, but we'll unpack that. So let's jump into it. So, and this is true joy. So this is not joy that is going to be based on, I always do the analogy or examples in my videos of winning the lottery or a new job or a new partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, or, raise in your job or a new project. Those are all fun. Those are not, there's nothing wrong with those in and of itself, but is it the true joy of God, the true joy and the peace of God that is everlasting, eternal? So that's what God has given us, is the peace and the joy and that eternity to live an abundance of life. So this is just a small little space that we find ourselves in this world. So I don't want to waffle. I don't want to try and keep on focus, but it's important to have a little bit of a backdrop. So this is true joy. And we all should be living in joy. Once we peel away or see through the thin veil of darkness, scarcity mindset, fear, that joy will naturally come about. So and this joy is here and now, and it's our natural inheritance. And sometimes we have to be taught through the opposite to understand what the truth is. And the opposite is your fear and your darkness and your guilt and doubt, and that's illusory. So it's not truth, but it's not really its opposite, but it's the opposite per se. and through that you will know what true joy is. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read this little insert or text from A Course in Miracles, and then I'm going to, I'll just unpack it very briefly based on Course in Miracles as well, and maybe my interpretation, but it's also based on, using the Course in Miracles. All right, so let's jump into it. So, so this is joy. So this is the escape from darkness. This is a text called The Escape from Darkness. And the escape from darkness involves two stages. First, the recognition that darkness cannot hide. This step usually entails fear. Second, the recognition that there is nothing you want to hide, even if you could. This step brings escape from fear. When you have become willing to hide nothing, you will not only be willing to enter into communion, but will also understand peace and joy. All right, so let's unpack that a bit. And some of the backdrop here before I carry on is love is extension. So as opposed to ego-based mindset and the thought illusory false thought system, which is separate from God, because we think with God. And I've mentioned before, our will is the will of God. There is no difference between love and joy, and love is extension. The ego is isolation. So love and joy go hand in hand. Okay, so let's unpack this. The first text here or sentence is the escape from darkness involves two stages. First, the recognition that darkness cannot hide. This usually entails fear. So I try to corroborate this with a little bit of background from A Course in Miracles, and it's so in depth. The book is so in depth. It's hard to corroborate every single corroborate every single thing that you read, because the text itself is unless you have an understanding of the book and the curriculum itself, it's hard to understand each and every sentence. So I'm trying to make it simple. At the end of the day, it has to be simple and has to resonate with you. So if it doesn't right now, that's no problem. It will in the future. All right, so darkness is basically an example of the scarcity belief, and this is from A Course in Miracles. This is an example of the scarcity belief from which only error can proceed. So then darkness is ultimately an illusion. It's a scarcity belief, and it's therefore linked to the ego, which is a false illusory thought system. Okay, and darkness is therefore nothing. And I'll just repeat this again. The escape from darkness involves two stages. First, the recognition that darkness cannot hide. This step usually entails fear. So you say, why does this usually entail fear? And that's what I've just read. It's a scarcity belief. And my understanding, and to try and unpack this a little bit more, is you feel there is darkness inside you. Some of us, you out there might feel that there's a darkness inside you, and we all have that feeling. Unless we are living in the true peace of God, ultimately all of us are in a relative illusion of darkness. You might not feel or think that, you might think things are dandy and successful and things are grand. Other people might be in a very dark situation, so therefore it's more true for them. But ultimately, if we're not living in that true peace and presence of God, we're ultimately in an illusion of darkness. So, and you might feel that you have a darkness within you that you need to protect. And why this first sentence might invoke fear is because you feel that there's a darkness within you that you need to protect. And I'll unpack this a little bit more, which is quite exciting. And pretty profound. So you feel like you're doing bad things, you feel like you need to protect that, and you feel like it's a darkness. But these are ego-based. And I'm repeating these concepts, but it's important that we repeat these concepts, because these are illusory concepts. You are perfect and whole as God made you. Okay, so let's try and move on there to the second sentence, which is, second, the recognition that there's nothing you want to hide, even if you could. This step brings escape from fear. So the first step entails fear. This next step brings escape from fear. So again, why does it bring escape from fear? Because we are perfect and whole and created by God with everything in this moment. We lack for nothing. So therefore, because it's the darkness is illusory and ego-based and a false thought system, it's not real, and therefore there's nothing for you to not realize you can bring it to the light, or there's nothing there to protect, because you're protecting nothing. You're protecting a darkness. You might argue that, a lot of people are doing bad things out there. I don't want to go down too in depth down that pathway, but you've really got to look through the eyes. Firstly, you can't judge. You don't know someone's walk. And secondly, you've always got to maintain, if you believe in God, God made everything perfect. So within everyone is that perfection. So you've got to maintain that and see that in other people. So I hope that is making sense. So, and again, you'd never want to hide darkness, and you cannot hide darkness, because if you believe in God, God is one. There is nothing else but God. And therefore, everything is connected and everything is one. So you cannot hide that anyway. And you wouldn't want to, because I've experienced that in my life as well. When you bring whatever darkness is up and reveal it, it can just be revealed in a prayer, or just acknowledging or being aware through non-judgment and just bringing it up. You'll see how it will dissolve. Okay, so just made a mention here. Therefore, all you need to do is bring the darkness or your darkness to the light of God or the Holy Spirit, for it to disappear. Okay. So lastly, just to end that off, is when you have become willing to hide nothing, you will not only be willing to enter into communion, but will also understand peace and joy. All right, so just to end that off, which I think is meant to be uplifting, it is uplifting, and it's amazing and profound. So when you bring that to the light, you will be willing to enter into communion, and communion is with God, which is always there, because you're not separate from God, but it's hidden behind your illusions of fear, guilt, darkness. So once you peel that away, it reveals the communion of God that is always there, or the Holy Spirit. All right. And those are the fruits, basically. So your fruits are peace and joy, and those are there all the time. You don't try and attain those things. You don't try and get those things. They are already given to you. You've hidden them behind your illusion through the ego of trying to protect a darkness or a fear or a guilt. Therefore, you're blocking that off. But when you realize you are whole and perfect already, and you realize there is no real darkness, there is no real fear, there is no real judgment, guilt, doubt, then it will absolve that thin veil, and it will release, or bring forth those fruits of joy and peace that are always there. Hopefully I have not jumped around too much, and hopefully I have made sense. So yeah, I hope this has brought joy to your life. These things have to resonate with you. Go out there and practice these things. It doesn't just happen overnight. It can happen in an instant, but sometimes we have to practice, understand these things. So hopefully this has helped to bring further awareness, and realize the joy is actually within you in this moment right now. No matter what you are facing, it's there. It's just hidden behind your egoic scenario, what's ever overwhelming you, but that can dissolve in a flash. Ask the Holy Spirit for guidance. That's pretty much it. And the joy will be realized. And anyway, let me let you get on with the day. Hopefully this has added much value. If it has, like, share, subscribe. Give me your thoughts, your sharings, questions, advice. If you want to advise something, that's always awesome. And we'll check you on the next one.